Hello everyone, welcome back to Heinz Sight. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I appreciate every single one of you that are here. Today is going to be a quick, I wouldn't say quick show because it's going to be at least an hour long, or at least I try to keep an hour long. But I want to basically talk about these three cases and how these three cases kind how it's been impacted by sexism. I would say the three cases that I'm going to be going over today is the case of New Hampshire versus Guerrero. This was the OnlyFans stalker case that just been adjudicated last year, and Guerrero was found guilty of stalking and burglary. The details of that case, and I know I've just threw in burglary there, but once we get into the details of that case, you will know why I am having a massive grin on my face when I say burglary. The other case is the recent arrest of former Buffalo, which is in Seattle, Washington. He was arrested for a suspected murder of his, I guess you can call it dating, because that was all I saw when I was researching all of this. But he was dating a former stripper, and lo and behold, she ends up dead. The details of this case, I want to really bring out how the attitudes when approaching these women, what they were testifying to, etc., informs the attitudes, that the negative sexist attitudes that, in my opinion, led to these murders. And also there was another case, kind of a juxtaposition, if you will, of David Sabatini, who lost his lab due to an accusation made against him by Christine Noose, who was the woman that he was seeing. This allegation he vehemently denied and showed evidence and launched a defamation case against MIT as well as Christine Noose. All these cases, I want to show how sexism and the negative attitudes, the negative stereotypes that we've been holding on to, has actually played a part in all of this, and why it is important to actually take it very seriously if we actually want to achieve some form of equality, whatever you want to call it. If we want to achieve some form of relation, I believe it's important to take a closer look. So, with the benefit of hindsight, let's begin and explore these cases. Okay, so make sure you hit that like button. I just want to say that. Make sure you hit that like button. I just want to go to the chat real quick. Hi, Nom de Plume. I hope that you are well. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Shout out to everyone that's actually locked in. Shout out to the lurkers as well. But yeah, I hopefully, because I know that the cases that I bring out are not very well known. They're not really a lot talked about. But the main reason why I'm doing this is because of the reason why I have this channel, which is pretty much going into the impacts or the implications of certain cases, what was popping up and bubbling up. So let me just give you a quick history while we're here, because I haven't had this channel for a long time, and I haven't established, in my opinion, adequately what it is about or exactly. But I normally do breakdowns and investigating here. So either it will be bringing out course information or anything like that, or it will be looking at the broader implications of a particular case. So if we cast our mind back to the case in regards to California or the people versus Tory Lanez, we covered that case, and I provided a lot of the information, because the one thing about that case was the lack of coverage around it, and the lack of adequate reporting. Sorry, not coverage. There was coverage, just the reporting was not accurate. So for that particular case, I went around and gathered all of the information that was being put out there by court reporters that were reliable, to try and give it a cohesive picture of what happened all through the days. This was after the trial was done, and also I done an interview with someone who is in hip hop called Justin Hunt. He's a hip hop journalist, and we ended up talking about how snitching culture had actually affected that case, and why Megan Thee Stallion was pretty much stifled, or pretty much couldn't really come out properly, why so many of the witnesses were not very vocal in, and you might even argue they may have even lied on the stand and not supply a lot of the full picture, how snitching culture has actually informed that. So that's kind of the blueprint. That was from before Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and assume if you've seen a lot of the videos that I've done in regards to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, again, it was all around the media narrative, because they were trying to skew it one way, and I was like, no, I don't like that. Let's bring it back, because this is what I found. This is the information that's actually out there. So if you're seeing this, what you're seeing is not accurate, basically, based on what the media is trying to portray. And also spoke about male abuse and false accusations there as well, and their impacts, because that's what the case was presenting. This is what the channel I'm building up. So yes, these streams, it's a very new format for me, because I don't think I've ever done anything live, so it's kind of me being thrown in the deep end. But I've got to try, because I really do believe that the only reason why we think a certain way, or why we hold certain attitudes, is because of education, or the lack of it, or maybe not even being informed. You might know certain things or something like that, but when you see it, there's a dissonance, and you're trying to but you may not have that one power of knowledge to put it all together. So hopefully this is one of the streams, and hopefully we can keep continuing, and hopefully we can continue that. I was going to say continue to make things a lot more cohesive and better, because I do feel, and I'm saying all of this because I do feel in the past streams I have not been very articulate. I've been very scattered, and I have not really got to give the best that I could. So so a lot of this again, but in regards to this particular stream, what talking about masculinity, etc., this is not a male-centric channel. I just wanted to make that clear. I'm a male, so of course I'm going to have certain opinions that are quite unique for males alone. But the one thing I want to achieve here is I want to make it as broad, palatable, universally understood as possible. That's what I want to do, basically. So this is what we spoke about on the discussion yesterday. Yesterday I done a stream with two brilliant co-hosts, Meryl and Given. It was called Two Guys, a Girl and Tea, and we were talking about man versus bear. And there were so many things that was being hit there, and it was unintentional. I've been planning this particular stream for 2 weeks. So for that discussion to happen, and now that we're here, it is quite interesting, because the two cases that I'm doing today, especially in regards to the OnlyFans stalker, Guerrero, and also the former councilman, James McNeal, both of these people went after sex workers. So they went after sex workers. And when I say went after sex workers, it wasn't as if they were preying on them for a certain way, or at least that's what it looks like on the face value. I am a person that likes to give the benefit of the doubt, at least the maximum benefit of the doubt, as to someone's intentions. But sometimes when things are corroborated, where professionals have really made it clear that this is based on our investigations and this and that, our studies, this is the spread. Based on all of those things, when I see that communicated, that's when I'm like, okay, maybe you should have considered the fact that they may unconsciously have sought out these individuals in the way they did. Nom de plume, I appreciate you. Let me go to the chat real quick. Let me adjust my camera. I think I'm too deep in. Okay, let me adjust that. Okay, I think you can see that. Okay, I have to adjust it a little bit. Okay, I like content creators who talk off the cuff like you do, rather than a slick polished presentation. I appreciate that. I do need to get lights though. I have ordered lights so that there's a lot more live in here. But I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, the reason why I went through all of that was because I know that a lot of people turn up for my streams when it comes to Amber Heard, etc. And when it comes to the other content, it kind of wanes, and that's not a problem, because obviously there's a market for everything. But in all fairness, there is a lot. I would never do an Amber Heard or Johnny Depp stream if there was nothing to learn from it. I would never do it. I'm not gonna cover those two if there's nothing that I can say. I want to present this, and I hope you take this away. So that's just me. I just thought I'd throw it out there in case anyone is watching this on the replay or watching this now, that they know that this is not one of those dedicated channels. They are channels dedicated to like pushing out Amber Heard content. No slight. I'm not saying that's a slight or anything like that. It's just to say that I understand that a lot of people come here for that, but I want to build from that and discuss a lot more than that particular case, because there's so many cases. There's so many cases that I'm aware of that has so many interesting facts that you will not, that it blows your mind that these things actually happen in daily life. And I want to be that middleman, not conduit, because I don't like that word per se, but I want to be that middleman, that person that just kind of provide some kind of meaning to a lot of the questions that might bubble up. So that's why, for example, the OnlyFans case here, let me just go to it. For example, here, the OnlyFans case of the stalker in the Addy trial. So let me go, hold up. Oh, the stalker in the attic, they call it. Right. So Guerrero. Let me put down full screen. I can't put it on full screen, can I? Let me zoom in a little bit. So he was. This is funny because I'm laughing because. Let me just go read. Let me just go read it. Sorry. Let me just go read it because that's funny. So yes, he was found guilty, burglary, and also he was found guilty of burglary, and as well as invasion of privacy, which is basically equivalent to breaking someone's home. So this case is very light. It's very light. It's not murder or anything like that. But there are attitudes here that I want to pull out and show you why it was someone that was an OnlyFans creator. Why these two are very is very comparable. Because the next case, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me just continue. Ahead of myself. Sorry. Let me continue. Okay. So the identity of the woman has been kept sealed because of obviously privacy. She's still alive and still working, so Yeah, I'm guessing she doesn't want to be known. Anyway, so it says here, investigators said that Guerrero had taken explicit photos of the RM without consent. She was slept and placed a tracking device on her keys. So this guy was also following her wherever she went. This is most likely why he got the invasion of privacy. On top of, again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me continue reading. Guerrero was charged with 5 counts of burglary and 2 counts of invasion of privacy, which is, I'm guessing, that's 1 count. In the opening statement, the defense described Guerrero as naive and stupid, a lost-sick young man who was duped by an older woman who exploited his feelings for gifts and attention, and even led him on by inviting him into her home on an earlier occasion for coitus. Attorney Harry Nelson, Star Branch, told the jury the case comes down to Guerrero's intense claim he acted impulsively when he entered the home, but he did not intend to commit a crime, an element of burglary under New Hampshire law. So he was found. the bug. You might think, what did he take to be burglary? We'll get to it. So he was found guilty of burglary and found, he was found on 2 counts of burglary, found guilty of that. And also on 2 counts of criminal trespass and invasion of privacy, which is the tracking device that was guilty. Criminal trespass would be entering the home without the permission. So I want to read this part out because this was when this is I'll go down to hear her testimony. I went down too far. I thought it was Guerrero. So Guerrero testified after the victim had testified, and basically said, again, this trial was recorded. It was televised, and it's on. It is on Court TV. Actually, let me actually go to it. 1 second. Let me actually go to it. Wasn't actually. Let me go to it.
To another case that is
happening. Hold up. Okay. So this is the this is part of his testimony. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's start again.
Continue to tell you things to suggest how she felt about you?
Yes, she still continued to say things like, I love you. And of course then we would FaceTime again still a lot of times.
Did you talk about things like the stalker game or the obsession game? Tell us what she was saying about that and you started saying.
She said she wanted to be obsessed with her, to be a stalker. That she liked it.
You actually saw her testify, right?
Yes.
She sort of said the same thing. Do you remember hearing her say that?
Yes.
Guerrero faces 5 counts of burglary and 2 counts of invasion of privacy. Yesterday, his alleged victim took this.
That might be a bit too loud. I'm not too sure if that was too loud. I'm not sure. But I do apologize if that was a bit loud. I think let me try and change the. I think there's too much gain on that. I do apologize. I put the gain up on that one. So.
Stan and she.
Okay, I think that should be better now. So, no, that's not what. There is a lot more to that. There's a lot more to that. No, right. So, apologies for this. I did not actually plan to put the actual watch on. I just wanted to read through, but I now feel like it might be a bit more interesting to actually see some of the footage. So This is me being undecided. This is what happens when you are in two minds. Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? This is what happens when you're in two minds. So I do apologize for that. It's not that hard to find the cases, to find the case here. It's not helpful. I don't want to. Oh gosh. Okay. I think he testified on day 3. It was a straightforward case. Hold on. Okay. Okay, got it.
And
I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that.
22 years old.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So, yes. Sorry, Nom, for that. I don't know why this volume is not working.
Basically.
Can you?
did you go to high school?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's an issue. All right. Yeah. Okay. That shouldn't be the case. Let me put them on now. Yeah. Okay. That should be fine.
Benson, PA.
Okay.
Benson
No.
High School.
Something is wrong with the volume on my YouTube. I have no idea why I can't hear the playback, but okay, this might be one of those cases that I have to push back to catch up call and be like, okay, we can watch the full thing, but for the interest of time, for the interest of time, let me just read the cliff notes here. Guerrero testified that the victim, his first-time girlfriend, asked him to become obsessed with her, and their conversations. Okay. And their conversations were sexually explicit. Hold up. That's not it. Why have I lost everything? No, that's not it. Right, okay. So, going into day 2 here, the alleged victims, who was not shown on camera, took the stand, described how online interactions with the defendant were... Okay. Okay, so now I don't know why they didn't put a lot more on him, but I will, while reading this out, let me... I don't know why the volume is not working on that. That's not the reason why, by the way. I know I have a good alibi now because I can't hear the volume to say that. No, but that's not the reason why. I didn't know that the volume was not working
Started in 2015.
on here, and I don't know why. Yeah, everything is on mute, so I don't know. But that's not the reason why. I actually just wanted to get through it.
What we liked.
I have no idea. Can you hear that? Let me know. Can you hear it?
And
Okay, so you can hear it. Okay, I can't hear it on my end, so I don't know what's going on. It's probably my volume settings. If you guys can hear it, that's fine. But of course, I need to be able to hear it so that I can kind of fast track it using. Maybe I can use a transcript. Maybe that might be better. But yeah. Okay. Now, anyways, okay, mixer. Apologies for this. Boomer trying to work. I'm not even a boomer. Well, I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm not even a boomer. I am a millennial. I was born in 1991, so I should be a lot more computer savvy. I don't know why I got this on. Sorry. I should be a lot more computer savvy, but unfortunately, not everyone is as fortunate. So the volume is fine on your end. Let me try and get up the transcripts. It might be a bit easier. But to go back to Nom de Plume, yes, I do. I think that's just me. Because Nom de Plume did say earlier that you know, she likes it when I do prefer off the cuff. I can't do scripted stuff. I do use a script when I like do a video. It helps me take out the stutter, because the stuttering and all that comes when I'm on my own and I'm kind of in my thoughts, and I don't have people to bounce off here. Because when I have the chat, at least it's a bit easier to get into a flow. but I don't like using scripts. So yes, I prefer going off the cuff. So which is what you kind of do see, some kind of chaos here. But let me see. Because he described here how they met. They met on OnlyFans. They did date. They did do all these things. But the main point I wanted to get up to, so, well, I think you can still get the gist, but let's hear it from him, because the main point I want to go on to is how, because he did those things, why he felt he could break into the house, put the tracking device on, and all those things. I will go on to that, but let me just go here. I think he did say, I can't hear it, so unfortunately I'm not as fortunate as you guys are in the chat. Oh yeah, make sure that you like this, and like this and share this as well. The more the merrier, and all that good stuff. Yeah, so thank you so much everyone for actually tuning in and watching. Oh, I shouldn't have closed it. Oh damn, I'm gonna regret that. But well, let's hear him say it. Oh, now everything is slowing up. Hey, at least we know you're not AI. I can't believe that in today's day and age we're worried about what's real and what's fake in terms of human interaction. That's actually mad. We're actually worried, are the people making our videos for us AI or not? That's so bad. That is actually bad. We have regressed as a species if that's the case. You know what? It might just be the browser. Let me exit the browser. It might be the browser. Let me go to another browser. Apologies for this, guys. Here we go. Go here. See what
with scribehow.com you can.
Okay, it was the browser. I think that browser is most likely having technical difficulties. Then let me go here. Right, that should be better. I think
You can create SOPs in minutes, not hours. Hey,
We would FaceTime, start to
no, it wasn't the browser. It was like, okay, I can't hear it. So it wasn't the browser. All right, let me fast forward to 4:59. That was where it was. I still can't hear it, but on this browser. But if you guys can hear it, that's all fine. So this is what he said in regards to. Hold up, let me get this transcript off so that I can equally follow. Unfortunately. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. So the next case that we're going to look at is kind of informing this attitudes, and then we're going to go into one study that basically goes into this. I do aim, oh gosh, okay, maybe the transcript is causing issues. There's an issue with the screen now, but I do aim. Oh gosh, wrong button. Okay, sorry about that. But I do aim, in all of this, I do aim to release bite-sized footage of these lives and kind of provide a bit more studies behind it. But since that I'm having problem on my end in regards to actually having in regards with with the whole video on my end, I guess we'll just have to stick with this. So let's just go into day two. But yes, but like I said, I do aim to get recaps, like little recaps of these streams, and put it onto a full video format of the key parts that I really wanna get across. But here, right here, okay. So day two was when the victim, as we read, they met on OnlyFans, because that's they met on OnlyFans page in fall 2021, crossed in real life, leading to daily flirtatious texts, gifts to her and her son, and her. So she also had a child, and an actual sexual encounter in December 21. Both sides actually did say yes to this, that they both did actually hook up. They he didn't deny it. There was also another article here. That's not it. Do I have it here? Nope, that's not it. I have so many tabs up. Okay, that's it. Okay, here. I think this one has. I'll go back to that one. I think this one has a lot more detail. I only needed two tabs, but it says though he will pay monthly to access. Let me show me a little bit for you guys. Is that better? Okay, I think that's better. Okay, who pay a monthly fee to access their exclusive content. Okay. Guerrero told the court that he was in a relationship with the woman, and she wanted to play stalking and grape games after texting with her since October. They had consensual sexual intercourse at one point prior to him allegedly sneaking into our home. Attorneys for both sides have acknowledged this. Okay, so he says Guerrero admitted taking a video of the woman's private parts to stealing her underwear. Guess that's what the burglary charge is for, by the way. Stole her underwear. Jesus Christ, why? This is so weird. I'm sorry. Why do people find that actually? That's so weird to me. Look, sorry to say, but let me not get ahead of myself. Let me go back to it. Let me not get ahead of myself. I will explain what I was going to say later on. Okay, and to renting a place to stay nearby where he played video games and sometimes slept between multiple intrusions at the young woman's home. So he went in there multiple times and would intrude. This came out in the cross-examination. I do want to run this stream over at Ketchup Court. So hopefully I would do playback of this stream there. He said Guerrero, so in the closing argument, defense attorney says Guerrero found what he thought was his first relationship, that he believed a 25-year-old woman wanted to be with him. He said the victim, more sophisticated than him, orchestrated the situation, benefiting from gifts and money he gave her. This is what I hate, and I'm gonna explain why in a second. I hate this. I'm gonna explain why. Let me just read this part here. And a brief hookup. So we stop here. A brief hookup in his car, before he allegedly broke into her home and took a video of her vagina while she was slept. So they did hook up, but after that, they didn't have a relationship. I don't know what on earth they were trying to put with this case. They didn't have a proper relationship. They just had a sexual encounter. We didn't even know if this encounter was supposed to be, I'm not going to speculate. I don't think it's been expressed that it was paid for or anything like that. So I'm going to, fine. I'll call it just a casual hookup or a casual meetup. Okay, so he goes on to say she agreed that she may have messed with his head and sent Guerrero mixed messages about how she felt about him by sleeping with him. But that doesn't excuse someone though for taking videos of your private parts. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm making drunken professions of love. Yeah, but that it still doesn't. I get it, but that never mind. Let me move on. But she maintained that she did not consider them to be in a relationship. I tend to agree with this. If it was just one hookup, the guy just caught feelings. Did not ask him to visit her and did not give him permission to enter home or take videos or photos of her. The alleged victim attributed her conduct with the defendant very low self-esteem and mental problems that led her to drink daily. She said she was usually drunk when she spoke to him. So they had, from what I'm guessing here, they had multiple conversations in which she felt. See, this is also one thing that I'm noticing just now. This is kind of the pressures of being a sex worker, Because at the same time, yes, you have consented to sex with this individual, and most likely he didn't pay for that sex. And yes, you have also, maybe you may have even expressed that, how do you express then that you want to end it here and not escalate it? It's very difficult. And I think because she's only 25, it's not like she's an experienced sex worker first and foremost, because I can see if you're running a business, right, and you're dating someone that let's say that a content creator decides to date one of his fans, right, his or her fans, whatever. Let's just say that that's the case. Let's just use male and female for this exercise, right? If you decide to date, you just content creator, YouTuber, whatever. If you decide to date that individual, whoever it might be, you have to understand that, yeah, when it doesn't work out, some might worry about, okay, I don't want her to go off and say whatever, about that's just one of the realities that you might face, being a content creator that is popular, and you're like, well, if we date and it doesn't end well, it could damage my brand. So how the person leaves after that could be very difficult. This is why some people even say don't even bother doing that. So, but in the case, that's a content creator though, that's someone that's on YouTube. But in the case where you are an OnlyFans worker, you also have you don't want to lose a customer at the same time. You see, like, it's very intertwined. It's very, I don't know how to articulate it properly, but it's like you can't separate the two, no matter how much you want to try. So some content creators, for example, let's say that they do decide to go into that relationship, and they might be like, fine, I'm gonna risk it. I don't care what she says. We did a date. It was gonna end bad. They don't care about the backlash or whatever. They just end it, right? And then they can still extend their relationship and say, okay, cool, we can still be friends. But the point I'm trying to make is there is that luxury that they can actually do that, and they don't have to worry about anything else. But in the sense, but you can't have that separation when you're an OnlyFans worker, if that makes sense. That's the way I'm seeing it. If you're working as an OnlyFans creator and you wanna, like, once that over, that's your revenue stream gone. So you might want to keep entertaining it. Not only that, you might want to keep entertaining it just so that they don't go around and spread bad things about you. Because the one thing as a sex worker, coitus worker, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if YouTube demonetizes sex anymore, but the worst. But the point is, for them, at least the one heinous accusation that you can have is that this person has an STD. That would damage your business. So when I read this, especially with the fact that she's 25, so she might not know the industry really well and well. When I read this, I'm like, this is just someone that just can't articulate. Can we just be cool? We slept together, but can we just be cool? I'm not like, and most likely he just hit her that, maybe not charging this guy so that he understands that it's purely maybe he wasn't transactional. Let me just put it like that. Maybe it was not transactional. Maybe she just really just wanted to have the casual, and she just felt blah blah. But what I'm trying to say is that afterwards it's going to be very hard to communicate anything other than, yes, let's move it forward. You know what I mean? Like, especially like, because to me, I don't, based on what she said and based on what even Guerrero said, because we read earlier that we read earlier here that I don't even believe that asked him to become obsessed with her. I don't believe that at all, one bit. But I do think he really believed that this guy was his girlfriend. He just has a profile. He just has that, I'm gonna say it for now, he just has that look. But if I could but yeah, let me continue. The alleged victim, okay, cool. The alleged victim attributed her conduct with the defendants to very low self-esteem and mental problems that led her. Okay, sorry, I just read that. On cross, Guerrero's lawyer dropped examples of how she allegedly led him on. The time he showed up at her home unannounced, she sent him away. That's not leading someone on, though. He showed up at your home unannounced, sent him away, then text him saying, "I miss you." And then showing up, and that him showing up was kind of hot. She told him she wanted him to be obsessed with her. She texted him, "Rape me," but she didn't actually mean it. Of course, I can see, you have to look at the nature of her job. I kid you not. When she sent him away, I'm pretty sure that that she was thinking, no. I don't know how much, if it came out on trial how much she was earning, there might probably be a lot more context to what we're seeing here. Because if she was not earning that much, there's a case. But the reason why I went here is this part. Guerrero finally admitted to being outside her home when she was drunkenly sent him flirtatious text that night that's the 8th, and this is American, so that's February. Sorry, UK that's us August. Sorry, so this is February 8th, 2022. Learning. She agreed to meet him in his car for a brief tryst. Don't know what that means. Then texted him, "Don't ever come here again," after leaving the car. So, to me, like I said, that's clear that she just didn't know how to cut it off. But, and you might think I am, cutting off so much slack or anything like that. That's not the case. I don't know how much she earned. I don't even know who she is to even ascertain whether she's even, popular or not. But from what I'm reading here, it just sounds like, and I've been in a lot of breakups, it just sounds like this girl was trying to be nice to break up with the person. I'm the one that usually, to clear that up, I wasn't this creep. I wasn't turning up at our home unannounced, all those things. No, that. But I'm saying, when you've been through a couple of breakups, and you're looking back at them, you tend to know the signs that she was trying to tell you and trying to let you go, and you didn't get the message until she actually told you. And you're like, oh. But it was, but when you look back on it, it's really apparent. It's really apparent that it wasn't there. So when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing it in a much different lens. But as much as I want to give benefit of the doubt, you do not turn up at someone's house unannounced. You always ask, "Can I come over?" This and that. "Can I do this?" Because the person is still a human being. And the reason why I believe he was even doing these things is because he did not view her, for some reason, as a human being. I'm gonna table this case for now. Again, the burglary count that he was found guilty for was because, again, he stole her panties. That's actually why, which is just weird as. So the second case here, again, before I go into this case, is innocent before guilty. Well, I want to put it out there because the former councilman of tryst is hookup. I appreciate that, M169. Thank you so much. I did not know that's what tryst means in American lingo. I'm British, so we're kind of slow over here. I appreciate that. Charges. This comes from ex-Buffalo council member had breakup tantrum before killing. So it's been alleged that he's been killed. Sorry, not he. Sorry about that. Not he, as it's been alleged that he killed the 20-year-old stripper. Let's dive into the story a little bit. So James McNeal was giving Liliya Guyvoronsky, most likely Ukrainian, I think. Could be Ukrainian. 20 years of age, about £10,000 per month, dollars per month, charging pay per se. Moving on. A former Buffalo. This, by the way, this whole thing happened in 2024. So the case has not gone to trial yet. Everyone is assumed innocent. Innocent by the law. Presume he may not have done this because let me go to it, actually. He did. I think this is now. On the 14th, he did plead not guilty. So he has pled a not guilty plea. So he's gonna go to court and they're gonna, try and fight it out. So, let's go back into this. So, with that in mind, of course, innocent till proven guilty and all that. But for the purpose of this stream, let's assume for a moment that he is guilty. I'm not saying he is, but let's just assume that he is guilty for the purpose of this stream, so that I can get to the point of what could be happening. I'm not a professional or anything like that. I just love researching, and I again, now that I kind of have my ducks in a row, hopefully I can definitely bring a lot of these cases in the way that I want to do it, with a lot better quality, I should say. But yeah, I appreciate all of you that are here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and let me know how you're feeling in the chat as well. So prosecutors charge James McNeal, 58, with second-degree murder in the killing of Liliya Guyvoronsky. Blah blah. Guyvoronsky met McNeal while she was working as a stripper. They dated, so it was written in the report that they dated, and McNeal bought her dresses, shoes, and her parents had told the police. When she stopped working at a strip club, McNeal reported starting supporting her financially. Chat, let me know what you think the red flags are by seeing that. Let me know. Prosecutors estimate the support amounted to about $10,000 per month. Her parents described the relationship as on and off again, according to to police. On April 27th, they broke up after a fight over expenses. Guyvoronsky parents reported. She told her parents that McNeal had an annoying tantrum and tried to control her. She reportedly wrote in a text message to her family, "He will be mad for one day. I'll do the silent treatment until he gets lonely and sad. Then he will be desperate to get me back, and will start blowing up my phone and love bombing. Presents extra nice things. We go through this like once a month." I think this girl liked him a lot, but for some reason, I don't think those were his motivations. But I'll continue. Guyvoronsky diary also included several entries appearing to refer to McNeal, according to police. In one, she wrote to herself, "To make sure you do not forget how you felt, the anger, hurt, and neglect." This is why I say I think she liked him. This is why I say it, because I mean, you kind of have to write yourself those messages if you know that, yes, I want this side because he's so nice and everything, but there's also this side. So remind yourself of this side, so that you don't fall for the nice side when it comes back. So I do think that she actually genuinely liked this guy. Again, he's 58. I don't care about age gaps, by the way. 58. Look, as long as she's over 21, you're fine. I don't care. But this is crazy to me. I mean, if you're 58, I would at least expect you to push it to 30 or something like that. But each to their own. All these 25, each to their own. People have different opinions on that. Let me know what you think in the chat. But yeah. Speaking of chat, let me just go to it really quickly. Call me a cynic, but if you are 58 and she's 20, the attraction may not be entirely emotional, if you catch my meaning. Oh, of course I got my meaning. It's not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really depends. My motivations are different, so I see age gap differently. I understand that people are not, they don't have the same motivations when they date someone that could be younger or anything like that. But you know, but I just tend to just leave people like that. But I do look unfavorably if I see an age gap relationship and the person is like 21 or younger. Like, if it's 21 or younger, I'm like, okay, maybe, nah, my guy, you can push up a little bit. I understand about the whole, she's an adult now, 18, they have full agency. I get that. I completely get that. And that's not even why I was side-eye it. It's just where I will be like, bro, she's 21. That's just my own personal preference. Like, I just wouldn't go for anyone younger than 21. But when I side-eye other people, it's only that I'm like, okay, but when did you start talking to her though? If you start at 17, that's a bit weird. If you start at 16, that's a lot weirder. You know, if you start at 19, then okay, I can be like, okay, fine. You know, you know, if you start at 18, that's even, you know, I'll be like, fine. It's a starting point. And to me, without even knowing those details, and I see that you're with a 20-year-old, I would automatically, the first thing I ask, how long have you two been together? If it's not 6 months or less, I'm side-eyeing, because if you say 2 years, I'm done. I'm going to be like, yo, when did you two meet? Because how are you together for 2 years and she's 20? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's just weird to me. But, you know, that's why I'm like 21 or more. Like, meet them at 21. If they're 21 when you met them, fine, do your thing, knock your boots. If you're 65, I cannot argue against you, because at least I cannot accuse you of grooming, but you know, all these things. Sorry. Looks like she found a sugar daddy. She may have genuinely liked him, but he seems to have control issues. Let's get to that, because I don't think this is a sugar daddy relationships. I mean, some sugar daddy relationships do work out. I don't think they have that, but again, I haven't explored this area, so don't hold me to this, but I don't think they have that mortality rate, you know, that if you are with a sugar daddy, you're more likely. No, I don't think they have that. I think there is a kind of understanding when you're with a sugar daddy, etc., that they don't really give a damn about you, like, you know, like that. They will take care of you and do all those things, but it's not going to be on this level where you're going to end up losing your life, kind of thing. So I don't think that's the case here. Again, I'm not advocating for sugar daddy or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying what seems apparent, you know, because I don't think that's necessarily the case here. So let's okay, so let me go back into the article. Moving on. Where did I even stop? Okay, so she in another she called him mentally and emotionally abusive. I think she was starting to understand what was going on, and she was starting to understand that this is not a normal relationship, because again, she's 20, so I doubt she would have these skills ready. But if she started talking to other people, especially talking to her parents, because it seems like her and her parents had a very close relationship, they would have explained this to her. But okay, so moving on. I don't think. Okay, so this is the part that I want. An official cause of death has not been released as of Friday, according to court papers. Police arrested Neil on the scene. His attorney, Jan Holson. I hope it's Jan Holson, because that's a very okay. Moving on. Advised officers that McNeal won't talk to them. Blah blah. I don't think that's okay. That's not it. Okay, so there was a follow-up report. And I think here, this one contained a lot more details as to how she died, what could have happened, etc. So we're just gonna read that. So okay, it says here on the 3rd. So this is very lazy, by the way. I'm gonna critique the Herald, because this is the same day. They have a cause of death and they don't. That's really bad, the Herald. Step up your game. So the Seattle Times reported that Kings County that they charged with second-degree murder and homicide. Liliya died from apparent strangulation, but official cause of death is pending. Well, at least they have some idea. Nice investigation there. It's unclear when she was killed and this time, but this is the part that I wanna meet. So here's that I wanna go to. We've read that part already. Where was it? That's the one. When police arrived at the scene, the attorney phoned McNeal, who came out of the child's cell, is clothing covered in blood, and he was detained. Officers found Guyvoronsky's body in her bedroom, say the charges. No one else inside. So they must have found, because of her being white, there must have been strangulations mark, the red mark on her neck. McNeal was arrested and taken to Arborview Medical Center to be treated for injuries consistent with self-inflicted cuts to his wrist, the charges say. So this is this could have ended up being a murder-suicide, a murder unaliving, So, wow. Okay. Olsen did not immediately return the folk. I think we read that already. We read that one. Yeah, we read that already. He was running. So this is giving us a bit more of an interest in the background. We don't really care about the background. He was running for the Buffalo City campaign, and he lost out. And this was in 2023. So now, the most important part is, so this is the 14. So sorry about that. This one, I didn't really get anything outside of this one, outside of just the fact that he just pleaded not guilty. So, the only interesting part here is that the victim's friends told Como News that she and McNeal met at a strip club, and she was working at and had been dating on her for a year. I know that the media at the News Cafe portrayed her as broken and troubled, but she was young, 20 years, and she was a young woman learning ins and outs of life, how hard it can be, how our life really is. So so that's all that says here, and also he pleaded not guilty. So now the question lies in, this is a 50-year-old man. Did he have a family? I went to his social media, and it turns out this was his header. But he hasn't posted since 2015, so I do not actually know if this is legit. So I went to his Facebook, and it's legit because he was running for Buffalo City Council. This is his family, obviously running on a united front. This is 2022. So there's a possibility that this man could have been either cheating on his wife with this woman, Liliya, or they were going through trouble at home, and he decided to, leave. Whatever it is, it just seems to me that this guy was seeking control one way or the other. Because when I see infidelity, I don't know. I don't know, man. I tend to actually don't look at that. I mean, you are paying for someone else. What is the reason that you're doing this? If it's anything but control, especially when you do have a family, that's a very massive factor to weigh up and consider when you're actually looking at this. So there is a study here about the attitudes in regards to female that does sex work. Before I go into the study, let me just quickly go into the chat quickly because you guys have been busy. It says it's surface of the appraisal of the situation. I'm not too sure. It's real. Exno Angel, welcome to the show. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so much. It's real. I don't know what you mean by it's real. I assume it's oh you mean the social media? Yes the Twitter. I just had to show the thought. It's real. So midlife crisis, trouble marriage. Midlife, it's a bit too late for midlife crisis. I would say that it's a bit too late for that, because you normally have that at 40, something like that. So I've heard. I'm not near. I'm 8 years away, so I've got a bit of time to enjoy my life before I buy my sports car and get into more debt. I mean, I don't see why I would buy a sports car. I've kind of already had it, so maybe my midlife crisis could be a bit different. Num says yes, recently divorced with kids. So there we go. Now I'm glad you said that, actually, Num, because this is what the study actually shows. So it says actually does go into this is Calabras psychology. Sorry, and this is it was written, when was it? Yes. Okay, so it was written on 2021. And its prejudice towards sex workers depends on the sexual activity and autonomy of work, etc. So what it's trying to establish from this study is that based on that how you perceive sex workers would not just be on the nature of their work, but also the hobbies that they hold. So the reason why I went here is because I do think there is something that's glaring in both of these cases, because I think that at least with Guerrero, you can. I'm not making any kind of justification for Guerrero, by the way, but at least it's understandable that he was a 21-year-old kid, and he just probably doesn't look like he had a. Let me just. He doesn't look like he has ever had a girlfriend. So at least with his case, you can be like, maybe he did not target her. But what we're about to read is that the attitudes, at least for him, is, you can see that the attitudes is still not any different from the councilman. So going back into the study, it says both men and women dehumanize sexualize women. However, men's and women's reasons for dehumanizing are suggested to differ, and in case of female sex workers, these differences may reflect on underlying motivations of female sexual suppression. So going down, because I don't want to read everything here. Okay, it says the strength of men's negative attitudes towards female sexuality, especially female sex workers, may depend on a man's relative position within the dating market hierarchy compared to women. Men's experience lower biological costs of that. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I read the wrong part. Okay. Okay. That's a different one for another day. We'll go into that one, but that's not. Hold up. Right. Okay. So, this is the part. Okay. Cool. Sorry. This one here. People intuitively separate their judgments into two distinct dimensions of mind: mental agency, a person's ability to think, make decisions and commit to their intentions; and mental experience, a person's ability to feel emotions, joy, sadness, etc., sensations of pain and pleasure. So so of course the mental experience is kind of, so when I read this, the mental experience would be more appealing for the 58-year-old, and in terms of the mental agency in regards to the Guerrero case, for me, when I see that, I am thinking for him to just appear at a house unannounced, all of these things in his head, and I do believe could be unintentional, I don't know, but I really believe that because he bought her the gifts, because he subscribed to her OnlyFans, because he did all those things, he did not actually believe that the person's ability to think, make decisions, and commit to their intentions, he did not think that they actually had that capacity, because he was doing all these things for her. That's what I personally think unintentionally by Guerrero. That's why he felt entitled that he could go to the house unannounced. That's why he said, well, she led me on because I kept buying her these gifts, etc. So therefore, when I read that from the defense, I'm surprised they even went down that argument. They even argued that, because it's a terrible defense, first and foremost, because how do you then defend yourself against breaching someone's privacy by saying, actually, I bought you this, so I should be allowed to come into your house? No, that's not how you defend it. But but based on what I'm reading here, that's what is suggesting to me. This guy has adjudged her to have actually been like, yo, she does OnlyFans, she does all these things, so she does casual sex, etc. So yeah, you also gotta look at the fact that he's also, like I said, he looks like a geek. He looks like someone that doesn't really have that much experience going in. So he's naturally going to be like, that little sexual experience is going to translate to him as, we're now in a relationship. They're not going to see it as casual sex. And the fact that they already have that idea, that they, in my opinion, that they don't have that mental ability, that mental capacity to like make decisions, etc., that's going to inform them to do the stalking, to install the chip that he installed in the car, to track in the car keys. So the car keys, I think it was, whatever it might be, the keys, so that he could know her whereabouts. These are behaviors of someone who actually believes they don't have the moral capacity. Goes on to read, attributing another person less capacity or less moral status often parallels the comparison of that person to non-human entities such as animals, robots, or objects. I think robots is more it's a lot more, because again, I understand the argument that he was making in regards to the fact that she sent him all these messages. She sent him all of this. And yeah, it would cause some mixed feelings, but if she had told you before you even committed all of these acts, if she had actually said to you, hey, do not come here anymore, and you still do it, even to the point of, no, my guy, you literally see her as a robot. Yo, I bought you this, so you must obey, kind of thing. So let me continue here, because let me go here. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. Maybe I've gone too far down. I think I've gone too far down. Have I gone too far down? Yeah, I've gone too far down. All right. I've gone too far down. I think it is here. Would have been nice. I think it is here. Okay. Apologies. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm just trying to get. There's a lot of words here. Okay, no. There was a part that I wanted though. It actually explained the actual. What did I? In addition, wishes to demonstrate that sexualized women are more dehumanized. I'm looking for the part about casual sex, because it does actually bring up here that because they have casual sex, the sex workers have casual sex, that they view them less than human for that reason. So I'm trying to see here. Maybe it's here. I think it's here. No, that's not it. Okay, it is here. Okay, my bad. So it says both men. Yeah, they say however men's in the case of the female. Can you guys see that, by the way? Just let me go to the chat quickly. Can you guys actually see this? Okay, maybe I will zoom in. I don't think you guys can actually see it a lot. I'll zoom in a bit. Is that better? Before I read this part out, let me just go to the chat quickly. M169 says, first kid sounds like a very inexperienced young man who skewed his, based on the money he spent. Yeah, I do tend, I don't want anyone to think it's actually okay. I actually want people to actually learn from the kid and be like, don't go down that path, because I personally do think that the guy, he's 21. He's 21 at the time. He's 22 now. So, and also the fact that he doesn't look like the type to have a lot of experience with women. So his emotions are all over the place. I don't subscribe to the fact that I do not subscribe to the fact that because he received those messages, therefore he was justified in the other things that he did, or even understandable. I don't think it's understandable at all. Yeah, okay, cool. She might have sent you those things, but if I was to receive that, I'm like, if I was, and I'm thinking of this, I can't. Was there even a time that was? There was a time I was okay. Let me try and think back. Let me try and put myself back into a time I wasn't successful with women, and I was a bit trying to start off. If I receive a text messages, again, it goes back into upbringing and attitudes, because even if I was to receive a message that says, leave me alone, I don't want to talk to you anymore, I don't want to, if I was to receive a message like, if I turn up to someone's house, never happened, but let's say I did do that, and then they sent me away, and then they text me, I miss you, and then we continue talking. I'd be like, why did you send me away? I would want to know, like, because it's kind of weird. Why would you send me away? I turn up to your house, I said, let's say a romantic gesture, I turn up to your house. Why would you send me away? I would want to know. That's the first thing I would ask if I was in that scenario. And see what she says, because I would want to know, does this girl actually like me? So I don't subscribe to what he said. I actually think I agree with this. I definitely believe it's a lot more to do with entitlement than anything else. I personally think it's a lot more to do with entitlement. So in the case of Guerrero, definitely the fact that he's young, definitely the fact that he's entitled, and as we just went through the study that basically outlined, he did not see her, because he bought these gifts, etc. He did not see her as anything but. So No Angel says, I think because of the stigma of her career, he assumes it's easier to be controlling, viewing women as vulnerable to be used. I do not disagree. I agree with that. I don't think, I want to be careful with the word stigma. I think it's because of the view that when we look at, we have to admit, when we look at sex workers, it's very transactional, and I'm gonna go into that because that's what he was going into in the study there. But it's a very transactional field that you can kind of see. I was gonna say understand, but you can kind of see how hard it might be for someone to develop feelings or develop some kind of idea that this person, that, put it this way, if you was to date a sex worker, right, and they deny you sex, for example, you're like, oh, I'm not feeling it today, you might be like, oh, but you just jumped on camera 5 minutes ago, and just had sex with this guy, or like 6 hours ago you just had sex with this guy. Why would you not want to say, you might feel that bit extra. I don't know why. But that's what I mean by the transactional nature. You like, because of the job that they do, it's hard to see it as just a job. And yeah, everyone gets tired after a job. You might have to schedule your sex for the weekend. Who knows when they have a day off? Oh God, I am the wrong guy for this. But what I'm trying to say is, it's very hard, because we can picture how, for example, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will bring this back. I will definitely circle back to what you just said here later on. I don't want to. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Personally, I don't know why anyone would get into sex work. It's hard for me to comprehend how someone has such a low sense of self-respect. Ooh, I wish this was a stream to discuss that. Why that happens? I did not consider that. I probably should have. No. Unfortunately, that's not the stream for this one. I've noted it down. It's something that I may want to go into, but I will have to look at a case study to kind of where it's kind of laid out as to their motivations, etc. Maybe it's for a case where they were doing prostitution illegally or something like that, or maybe for a case like that, I will aim to answer that question, but not for this one because I'm not prepared to answer it. But I think it could be a lot more than just having a low sense of self-respect, though I do understand why you might feel that way. I think it could be a lot deeper and a lot more than that. To clarify, I don't see people as less human. Okay, that's fine. And you guys went into your own discussion. So to go back into the study, where was I? Oh, I just lost it again. Okay, so one of the line of reasoning suggests that women who pursue, that's not right. Okay, so however, and in the case of female sex workers, these differences may reflect underlying motivations of female sexual suppression. One line of reasoning suggests that women who pursue casual sex, and especially women who autonomously engage in sex work, undermine societal and institutional structures intended to regulate women's behavior and increase men's certainty of paternity. Thus, prejudice towards female sexuality may emerge from men's negative and loss of emotional, loss of societal control, which would most likely inform the councilman, because he did lose in 2022. So it could inform why he chose to go to a strip club, because he wanted some kind of reclamation of whatever power that he perceived he had. I'm guessing, hazarding a guess based on this. It speaks to it. I don't think that's the case, but it speaks to it. Let me read it. That's not okay. We're not talking about preferences in who they date, etc. That's fine. This is all to do with preferences. Okay, these men. Okay, so before this is talking about men of high value, mate value, or low mate value. So we're gonna go with the low mate value. So low mate value men. I'll just read it. Men with higher attractiveness, status, resources, and prestige are often regarded to have higher mate value. They are more desirable sexual partners, and these men are more likely than men of lower mate value to succeed at attracting multiple sexual partners. Low mate value men, however, may instead favor a restricted social sexuality. So, of course, this part. 1 second. I'm gonna hear myself before I say what I say. Let me read this part. It says, these men may express more negativity towards women who pursue uncommitted sexual opportunities because they increase the prevalence of promiscuous behavior in the community and risk of sexual infidelity within their own relationships. This negativity may be especially strong in areas where the cost of infidelity may be more severe. Therefore, rather than all men holding a prejudice towards female sexuality, men who have lower mate value or possess lower social sexuality may hold a stronger negative opinions of women who engage in casual sex, especially of female sex workers. This one, I think, definitely informs both. I think this one definitely informs both the both Guerrero and the councilman, because guaranteed there is no way. I'll just say it again. The councilman, you can even say that he's more of a higher value. The reason why I say you can say he is more of a higher value is because of the fact that he's married, he's got wife and kids, he's built his life. So why would you need to go out and get a sex work? a sex worker, if he's been through a divorce or something like that, there's a high likelihood that he's going to perceive himself as a lower sexual value because he's older. He's 58. He's just been divorced. Yeah. So what's the quickest way to get control or, kind of feel wanted again, if you want to put it like that, kind of boost your value up? Get a younger woman that's a lot easier access. In comes a sex worker, because this is what she looks like. Did I have a picture here? Nope, not this one here. I picked the articles that doesn't show a picture. How nice of you. Okay, we don't know what she looks like. Okay, I don't know what she looks like. Well, I do know what she looks like. I just don't have the picture up to actually. Damn. Oh, okay, maybe this one. Okay, so this one has a picture. So that's what she looks like. So most likely, can you guys see that? Okay, cool. Most likely, that's what he perceived would boost his value up, at least in my opinion, based on what we just read. Another line of reasoning suggests that women may oppose and stigmatize female sex workers in order to suppress women who increase men's sexual opportunity. That's not what we want. Hold up, that's not what we want. No, that's not what we want. Okay, so this is the changing the attitude. So that's not what we want here, because I'm not here to preach change or anything like that. It's just to kind of show you the attitude. There will be another stream where I might want to look at all of this, etc., where I might want to look at how we can change it, etc. But for now, I don't think that's important in terms of changing it, because, well, for one, it's more important to actually show the danger first before I can even think of preaching on on that tip. But sorry if it seems I'm all over the place. Like I said, this is not structured or written down or planned or anything like that. But I hope what I have shown on a level does at least give an idea of the behaviors that we've seen and why these two men may have done exactly what they've done. What the councilman did is considered to be financial abuse, as well as coercive control, as well as emotional abuse. I don't see the nature of what he was sending to conclude on emotional abuse, but I'll go by what the notes were saying at the time, by the woman. If she said at the time, writing in literal notes, not shown to other people, by the way, this is literal private notes, then I would tend to believe that she did feel, and he probably was being emotionally abusive. In terms of the financial, I only believe that he was supporting her, because it was said that he was that she was a stripper and she decided to quit that job. I do feel like she most likely decided to quit that job because she now saw that this councilman was dating her, and she felt, oh shoot, I don't need to do this anymore. I can maybe go for another job that I can do. And at this moment of vulnerability, what I think may have happened, again, alleged, I don't really know what happened, but what I think may have happened was the councilman was, no, don't worry, I'll pay for it, I've got the money, here's 10 grand, have it. You don't need to worry about that. That's me giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's me trying to be nice, all those things. The other side, and this is a bit darker here, the other side of this is he made her quit it and say, look, listen, you don't need to be working here. I'll take care of you. I'll give you 10 grand a month, give you a place to stay. You don't need to keep doing this job. Is this, is that, is this, is that. She's 20. She's like, actually, yeah, I think I was doing this job just to survive. I don't really want to quit it because, yeah, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy making my own money. But okay, fine, for you, because you persuaded me, I'm going to do it. So I do think that's what happened there. And whenever, I don't know what the nature of the arguments are, whatever, but it, based on the fact that they were that the parents were saying that they were on and off, it just sounds to me that there are some things that she just wasn't willing to do, and he would just lose it and, you know, be like, actually we are done, and then come back. And the reason why I think he would do this is purely for the fact that, for one, just to scare her, that the 10 grand that she's now exposed to in her life could be gone, that the house that she now has could be gone. So it kind of, that's the kind of coercive control and the financial I wouldn't say this is kind of financial abuse, because I haven't seen anything to suggest of the sort, because financial abuse is when you actually cut it off and be like, actually, you're not allowed to have your own I haven't seen that. You're not allowed to have your own credit card, all those things. You're not allowed to have your own debit card. Everything must come through me. I haven't seen that, but definitely coercive control. Definitely I've seen that, because I personally think that if he was, you know, like breaking up off and on again, this and that, definitely is to do with just to give her that scare that money could be gone. You know, you quit your job for him, or that's if you're going with the other one. But that's if you're going with a darker interpretation. But the reality does remain. She still quit her job to go and date him. So these are all the things that we have to consider in regards to looking at this councilman, because in my opinion, he just sought control and nothing more, because I believe he was losing it in his life, and this was one way he could do it. This informs the negative attitudes towards sex workers that we just read in regards to the loss of agency. You know, mental. We literally just read it in earlier, where in regards under the heading of prejudice against and dehumanization, the mental experience, I believe, in my opinion, in regards to the guy, in regards to the councilman, I believe he saw she doesn't have that much mental experience, so it's easier to control. The other guy, she's older. Guerrero, in this case, Guerrero, the kid, she's 25. So in his mind, I'm not justifying him, but I can see why he would be a bit struck. You know, it might be a bit, actually, oh wow, I just got someone that is older than me. Wow, she's more experienced. She's us. This. Oh wow, I didn't know that you guys want to have, you know, raping games, stalking games, or, you know, it might be new to him. So he only has to. So the agency part, he may not like. It could be unintentional, his behaviors, but because of how he is, he doesn't know. It wouldn't strike me if this guy just doesn't know how to communicate, or is antisocial in some way, just doesn't know how to relate with the opposite sex. That's for Guerrero, but for him, he's got enough life experience. He's got enough. He's had status. He's had all those things. So for him to then do, I honestly believe, and this is the distinction between the two, I honestly believe that because of the fact that I honestly believe that the Guerrero case, he was, in my opinion, unintentional. Based on what I've seen, he may not be not unintentional. That's bad choice of words. He might not be unaware of what he was doing or the negative consequences, and I think that's because cognitively he may not. Aware is the right word, but there's another word I'm looking for. But point I'm trying to make is he may not actually be, in a way, like, I must be right in what I'm doing because I've done XYZ. So something else, there's a bias there that's informing him to do what he's done. However, I can 100% believe that the councilman knew what he was doing. He knew if I pick someone younger, they're not gonna know what they're doing. They're down on their luck. Why would you go to a strip club and then date someone from a strip club if it's not aimed to control them one way or the other? I don't know how she ended up, this and that, but I personally believe that he must have. The minute he found out that she was 20, young, all those things, different. Because I don't think he attempts any of this if she was 25, 26, 28, maybe even 30. If she was around that age, I don't think he would actually try it. That's my own opinion. So the reason why I brought that up is because this part here, and I brought this out in the previous. Before I go into that next part, let me go into a chat quickly. No Angel X. It says it can be depth. Some graduate university and can't find a job. There's a case in Japan or Korea. If you know the case, put it in the chat. I would love to take a look at it and see what I can come up and see what comes up in that case. But I don't know. It's not. Was it established that it was university? I think I did hear that. Was it university? I think it was established that she was in university. I'm not too sure. Chat, correct me if she was in university. I don't think so. I don't think I came across that. But if she was in university, then yeah. Sorry about that. Oh gosh. But if she was in university, then yeah. And that can 100% play a part, but I don't think she was in university. I think she could be. I think she could be just an immigrant trying to get by. If he was her only sort of income, it could be considered a financial abuse if he's restricting things. I haven't read that, so yeah. But you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. If he was restricting things, then yes, financial abuse. I haven't read that he was restricting things. So I see it as definitely coercive control that's led to physical abuse, which is obviously but again, like I said, he's innocent till proven guilty. I don't know if he actually did do these things. I know I'm just trying to be fair because he pleaded not guilty. So I'm trying to be fair. Of course, he was found with blood all over his shirt. There was slit wrist. I get it. I know how it looks. I'm not being, contrarian and not being anything else outside of just trying to be fair. Just based on information I have so far. Guyvoronsky was working as a sous chef. I think at the time of her death, McNeal had previous charges of assault. Oh. Why did I not look at his previous criminal history? Nom de plume, I appreciate you. Why did I not look at his previous criminal history? Oh gosh, I feel so. Oh, I'm pissed. I did not look at this guy's criminal history. Why would I not look at his criminal history? Oh, what was there? So that changes everything. If he had a history of assault, he was arrested and charged. The only thing here was driving. Oh, that's a different one. I don't think that's a different one. I think that's a different one. No, I found someone else called James McNeal. That's a different one. Oh, okay, cool. It's a Reddit source, so I did find something. Hold up. I can't believe, why didn't I look at his criminal history? That changes everything. Well, I mean, it doesn't change him that much. It's just that this was 2015. Holy crap, I did not see this coming. Oh, I did find this. So, this is July 2015. So it says Boston James McNeal was charged with and pled to felony eluding when he was 19 years of age, extensive issues with unpaid taxes to business at home. However, racial profiling, of course you're going to say racial profiling. McNeal, offspring of a white mother and a black father. I don't know why that matters. When I turn, I got I don't. So that's all I have here in regards to McNeal. He's just being driving without a license or something like that. Was it assault? Let me research it. Okay. According to Washington cool. According to the Washington state records, he had a minor assault charge in 1987 and DUI in 1991. Why did this guy? Why did they let him run for office? What? Oh wow! You can be a council member with a criminal charge. Yeah. Okay. Minor assault charge. I want to know what the details of that assault charge was. Wow. Why didn't I not look at the criminal? I'm pissed off. Sorry, guys. I feel to apologize now. I feel like I've done something wrong because of not looking at this guy's criminal history. That should have been the first looking point. What's his prior bad acts? Oh well. So right. So the point. So now going into this part here, because this is the negative attitude. So Oxfam, I don't know the date of this, but these are 10 harmful myths that perpetuate violence against women. Perpetuate just means I'm not a teacher, so I shouldn't say that. So I don't think we saw anything like this here. In terms of it's okay to have coercive control, which is of course being submissive. I don't think that's what. Again, I don't have details in regards to anything like that in the 3 cases, but I definitely did have. I definitely did see attitudes of this. Women cannot deny that their male partner sex, etc. I did see attitudes of that. In regards to the councilman, I don't know. Again, I don't know though, because I don't think that's particularly the case with him or Guerrero, because both of them engage in it. But Guerrero, but in the case of Guerrero, I think this one is actually present. The reason why I say I think that one is actually present, which is the women cannot deny their male partner of sex, is because when she did say that they should leave him alone, I think there is that bias that also affects sex workers, right? Because if you have the idea that women cannot deny you of sex, you have a sex worker that's now denying you of sex. Like, that's gonna hit your ego pretty bad. Like, you're gonna be like, what kind of man am I? Like, I can't even attract a sex worker. I'm sorry, but I'm coping. I'm not laughing at the situation. It's not funny. Believe me, it's not a funny situation. I'm just trying to cope at someone actually, because that is a massive dehumanization. That the fact that they have this unhealthy attitude towards sex workers has led to what we saw with the stalker. At least she's not dead, which is unfortunate. But I don't know what the details of this relationship went on. But I definitely do think there were attitudes there that could inform number 5, which is that sexual assault is normal. He says dominant patterns around male sexual entitlement over women's bodies contribute to sexual harassment and other forms of sexual violence. In Colombia, a woman said, "I believe everything arises from the fact that men use you as sex objects, as the persons they need to fulfill their sexual needs." This is heightened greatly for sex workers, because that's their job. They are their brand. They kind of have to sell that. So when you meet that and you're now dating a councilman, then it's gonna be hard for the councilman to I personally believe he picked that out. He handpicked that. He knew who to look for. I do think he was targeting her. I actually believe that. I don't think it's just happenstance. I just think his brain knew this is what you need. This is this is what you want. This is the control that you need. And because of this attitude that, yeah, she can fulfill my sexual needs because she's already doing this this sex work. So yes, she's disposable basically, which is why in my opinion you saw these elements of coercive control playing out. Now, the other case that we had that I'm going to show, and this is the final one because there is a guy on the header that goes by the name of David Sabatini, and his case is weird. It's not weird, but in light of the whole theme that we just went through, you might wonder, why am I including this guy in here? Because this guy did not actually do any crime. He did not actually stalk the person. He did not actually he was only accused of sexual harassment, and he is a MIT professor that has won awards, Nobel awards actually, and he used to work for MIT. So one day he had an allegation of sexual harassment against him, or sexual assault. I don't know how to put it, but he had it, and he then, from there, he was fired from his job, lost his lab, all of those things. So the reason why I included this is because there is the attitudes that I told you about does have the inverse in regards to what we read on the Oxfam website in regards to having the attitude of that's, and I understand that it was under the label of women, but I do think that when women do internalize it, it does lead to other negative behaviors that may not be the intention of the person that's even carrying out the behavior, but it does lead there. And in this case, in my opinion, is false allegations, and we're gonna get into why. So, but before we do that, make sure you hit the like button, because this one is very, very. Let me just go to it. It says, let me just read it here. It says, his ouster came within 24 hours of receiving a copy of a Whitehead investigative report accusing, sorry about that, by the way, if there are sounds of motorbike, I apologize. Anyway, accusing him of violating sexual harassment policies of enabling a toxic bullying atmosphere in a 40-person lab. Deeply damaging to Sabatini was the revelation that he had a past relationship with a brilliant young Whitehead scientist with a similar title but much less research experience and stature, Christine Noose, in her early 30s. Sabatini and Noose had met in 2012 when she was a star student graduate in a graduate course Sabatini co-taught at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT for short. They later got to know each other better, though through a shared love of science and fine whiskey. Their sexual encounters, who violated Whitehead's strict relationship policy, ended with him courting another woman who used to work in his lab, and news from complicated reasons turned slowly but powerfully against him. So the point is, he wouldn't have been found to have violated any of these policies if she didn't, pursue it or go ahead to do what she did. So, but let me give it a bit more detail so that you can understand the context of what I mean by that. So this is onto the controversy. Let me see. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? Oh, I don't think. Let me zoom in a little bit more. You guys can't even see that. My bad. Let me share it. I'm reading from a screen you guys can't even see. Sorry. Okay, my bad. I didn't realize that I did not switch the screen. So it says, hope you can see that. So it says, the speed and totality of his downfall were stunning. In a matter of months, an illustrious lengthy career had been shattered, maybe for good, until the controversy erupted. Sabatini has spent 24 years at Whitehead without a misconduct allegation in his personal file, according to a global review of human resource files shared by him. In fact, Sabatini had been a bright light during the Boston's emergence as the Silicon Valley for biotech. The best young scientists across the world. Wait. Okay. Sorry. I think this part is important. Let me read that. The best young chassis across the world yearn to work in his lab, an electric place that's untangled cellular mystery is critical in the study of neurodegenerative diseases, cancer, diabetes, and aging. So he was doing really important studies. Let me go into the actual case, because it's just gonna go through. It's just gonna go through a lot more. It's a very thorough investigation that was done by the Boston Globe, actually. So the Globe, so they done interviews, review hundreds of documents, including a copy of Whitehead's 248 confidential investigative report into Sabatini's lab documents, personal records, and private communications. Also find that this case may stand out less for its tabloid aspects than for the way that the escalation situated. For the way that the situation escalated. Sorry about that. So basically meaning what they found did not justify what the tabloids was actually putting out there, because it basically, yeah, it was big news because it was like a Me Too for science. But what they're saying was, this is what was found was not interesting at all. It was actually just a normal relationship that is not even tabloid worthy. But moving on, by the way, that's Sabatini right there. Hold up. So he did sue Christine News and MIT for defamation. The case there, it has on April 2024. No. January 2024. The case was dismissed by the judge, citing freedom of speech. Of course, it's always going to be a hurdle to beat it, but it said that all the things that was being alleged by it was protected speech. And in regards to MIT, it wasn't wrongful filing, because wrongful dismissal because of the fact that they did break one of their policies. Hold up. So I'm just trying to get to the point. So this is Christine News. I'm just trying to get to the point. They've done a really thorough investigation into all of this, and we'll be here all day if we were to go through bit by bit. But just the cliff notes, that's them on their first date, most likely. And now this is the most important part, which is because from this night, apparently they went on to, engage in what adults like to engage in, to knock boots. They knock boots. I'll just say that. Sabatini and News made plans to meet again at the Jack Rose. Sabatini emailed a Berkeley biologist at his conference to come along. When the biologist backed out, Sabatini and News went alone. Each posted photos on Twitter of the bottles that lasted. By fateful coincidence, both had rooms at the same hotel. Late that night, they had shared an Uber back to the hotel in Rockville. I don't know what the MD stand for. So if you guys know in the chat, let me know. Let me get this down. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling as well. Okay. Okay, I'll just refresh the chat so your message come through. Anyway, in the morning. Let me continue reading. Sorry. They had been sipping whiskey together for hours. He was 50 and separated. So he was married, but no. Let me say separated, because separated could just mean, yeah. Anyway, moving on. She was 30 and single. So this much is undisputed. They ended up in Sabatini's hotel room that night and had sex. What grown folks do. Sorry, not men. In the morning, News left for her own room and then texted while on her way to the airport. They had this exchange documented in the Whitehead investigative report, referring to their Twitter post from the night before. I got more followers than I had scotches, blah, blah. I aim to please, blah, blah. Same to you. Decided to treat myself to an Uber. It driving me to, again, remember, this girl accused them of sexual assault. So this is the next we just read, in the morning, left for our own room, and this is the messages. She claims sexual assault, guys. Anyway, moving on. I'm so tired. Please make an old man joke. Won't kick you while you're down if you're out, blah, blah, blah. All right, okay. So, in the aftermath of their first sexual liaison, the emails exchanged between them seemed to continue as they had before. 4 days later, on April 22nd, they began a long email exchange about snagging assorted whiskeys, discussing the merits of their balls, etc. If I am ever established and rich, we can hire an admin to manage all the domestic and international endeavors, news wrote to Sabatini, broadly classified as scientific inquiry. Within this long exchange, Sabatini offered encouragement when news admitted pre-lab jitters. The news said the whole holy, I'm starting my own lab in 6 weeks. I don't know, expletive anyway, and who have no idea what I'm doing or if anything's okay, or if anything is going to work. It's time to hit me. Sabatini responds saying, everyone goes through what you're feeling now. There's a bit of an imposter syndrome that lasts until the lab feels messy and you have the first success, even if a small one. Again, everything seems fine, supportive, etc. They continue to see each other for occasional sex, and their meetings secret. They agreed they were not an exclusive couple, as they later told investigators, and projected to others around them an upbeat, supportive friendship. Their texts to one another were sometimes full of urgent sexual energy about where they might find privacy and time however short they meet. In my office for a bit, blah blah. This is their pillow talk, sex talk, whatever you want to call it, sexting. I think that's what the kids are calling it these days. Someone is rocking. I don't know what that. I don't. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Someone is rock. I don't know. Dyro T Spike, Dehydro. These guys are older than me, so I think she's my age now. I think she's my age now. So yeah, maybe someone can translate that for me. I don't know what that means. Referring to testosterone. Okay, I think that's okay. It's probably a Sheldon joke somewhere. In pursuing a sexual relationship, they knowingly crossed the line. They could pose complications, including risk of workplace policy violations. They kept their liaison secret. That's important. Over roughly the next year and a half, they slept together about 10 to 15 times, according to accounts each layer gave to investigators. Sabatini says he came to think of News as one of his best friends. They met for dinner and drinks, professional colleagues, News joined video game sessions, etc. Blah blah. So no, the one that let me try and skip this along because okay, right. This is the point. So both of them entered into this second relationship at a time when the Me Too movement had focused greater attention on the hazards of professional relationships that veer into sex. HR departments trained to come up with rules to accommodate the inevitable attraction between co-workers, while at the same time protecting employees from exploitation. Me Too movement had an effect. It wasn't like just getting people fired. There was systemic changes within working, which is why a lot more people are now. I would have to do a stream on the effects of Me Too. I will have to do it because I will have to do it. I'll have to do it because I just literally remembered when men decided not to talk to women at the workplace anymore in that kind of manner. Women were pissed. I have to do it. I have to do that stream because I have to do that stream. Anyway, going back to this. they're kind of setting a stage here, but we're getting to the part that she accused him. Okay, so this is where I think the accusation began. Okay, so the policy change came 5 months after Sabatini's news liaisons began. 5 months after, by the way. That's key here. But anyway, moving on. They continued the secret relationship now unambiguously forbidden. They both held similar titles as principal investigators, so they both violated the policy. But Sabatini, who had far more stature, would have more reason to worry about consequences. Whitehead also barred managers from having a relationship with a close personal relation over whom they had power. News did not work for Sabatini, but he could potentially have had career influencing role as far more established scientists. Careful out there. His seasoned guidance meant even more to her in months to come. In 2019, coping with the crushing fact that Ammon, her beloved mentor, was battling an advanced case of ovarian cancer. News had suffered through dark moves, etc. She wrote him in 2019 saying, "What is the point if I'm never satisfied and everything is meaningless and all of my feelings are dead and dying, etc." Blah blah. She said, "So this is it. So this is a text exchange. Apologies for that. Apologies. So basically, this is when she was going through the bad place, talking like that. It's he was being supportive." Getting here. Sorry for taking long to get here. I mean, let me just. Okay, so. Okay, so this is okay. Got it here. This is the point that everything started going downhill. So it says, "I really value and enjoy our friendship and the personal physical connection that we've had, and at times find myself wanting to see where it goes. While also fully understanding you're not in a place for that right now. There are complicating circumstances of age and workplace and having no idea how you feel." Again, she accused them of sexual assault, by the way. "It was a mistake on his part," Sabatini told the Globe, "that he did not fully acknowledge and respond then to what he perceived as her shifting feelings for him." But News would later tell investigators from the start of her secret sexual relations with Sabatini, she was entwined in a swirl of anxiety about the relationship and the imbalance of power, as well as confusion about what she wanted from Sabatini, mentoring and networking, blah blah, something more, etc. She would later say that their first sexual encounter felt coercive. And others did too, but he dismissed her misgivings when she voiced them. She privately complained to close colleagues and friends about a sense of unfairness in her dealings with Sabatini. "After crying in my office for an hour, I decided I'm not taking this ish anymore. He can't have me as a friend when he wants a friend, but when I voice my upset call in the hierarchy, treat me like ish," she wrote in 2019. She also accompanied that he did not realize that the manner came off as angry, and even when he said he wasn't, and that he excessively unload personal issues onto her. He's also seriously considering a therapist, News wrote. "Wow, you made some progress," a friend responded. You keep chipping away at him, he will accept your referral. I think he will." So they were talking she was talking to his friend about the relationship. Okay. I'm just literally seeing your messages right now. Sorry about that. "You don't have to steal anything to be charged with burglary. Burglary is illegal entry." Oh, okay, cool. That's fair enough. Okay, that's fair enough. I didn't know that. I actually thought it was because it took his fancies. I actually thought it was, sorry, no, I'm actually sure it was through his fancies. "Aren't sex workers of any..." Yeah, they are. They are. McNeal. I'm just seeing all this come through. So yeah, forgive me, Num, for not seeing it earlier. But yeah, let me let me know what you think of this story in regards to David Sabatini as I read on. Also, hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. Lurkers, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. She respected him. Back to the story. She respected him professionally, but was disillusioned with him personally and harbored growing feelings of treated like a mistress, sexually exploited. How could you be a mistress? He's not even taken. Anyway, sorry. Sexually exploited and called upon when he needed emotional support for something. News told his investigators. What the hell? So you accused him of sexual. Okay, moving on. I'm getting to the point where I would almost be willing to go public with my story. It's done so much damage to me, and we are not for it. An amazing support system of friends, you, like therapists. I'm sure I will still be here. Would hate to see anyone else go through it. Let's talk through this carefully. I have dinner, blah blah blah. They weren't me dinner. I'm happy to, yeah. Okay. Sabatini told the Globe that news occasionally implied through the end of 2019 that she wanted a deeper connection with him. Around 1st of January 2020, Sabatini told a friend as well as his brother Bernardo that news had come to his office at the end of December to say she wanted more from him and from their relationship, that they should become a real couple. This makes sense. I'm not gonna lie. It makes sense why you would call herself mistress. Like, yeah, anyway, to the friend anyway. That's a tell for me. What? The friend replied by text. Yep, she does. She doesn't need a ring though, Sabatini wrote. He said he told news that he didn't know what he really wanted. Mistake. Bernardo Sabatini had spent time with his brother and news. He had never seen them kiss or hold hands, but he believed there was affinity between them. Okay, let's move on. This is a very long piece, by the way. This is a very long piece, but this is when she went into text messages in mid-January to say, I think more of what I was trying to get at yesterday and what keeps biting at me is that when I come down from investing a lot of concern and thought and effort into trying to help you, I'm left wondering why you would put in the same amount of in the same amount for me. I'm not certain there would be a point when you care enough about a relationship to fight for it and give it the amount of effort I would want and deserve to be happy. Surely the connection matters, but so too does effort. No need to discuss now, but worth thinking over time. The point I'm making here, and I hope is apparent now, is because they had a sexual relationship, she felt that she was entitled to a relationship because she did give him what is an expectation. So now there is the unhealthy expectation of there being something more than what is just a sexual relationship that they seem to have agreed to. I say seem because I don't think it was explicitly agreed to like that, but it was. I am gonna say I haven't seen anything to suggest that it wasn't anything but vague from all that I've read. But the point is, I doubt she would feel this way or want to escalate it or feel like a mistress or feel like anything like that if she did not engage in intercourse with him, right? That's what I think. So it's led to this entitlement that's led to all of these things. But that doesn't, what I'm trying to say is that having that attitude has led to her making this accusation of saying she was assaulted by him, sexually assaulted by him because it was coercive the first time, blah, blah, based on what we read, that it may have even been coercive, that she didn't know it, that she was not, that she was coerced into it. To me, this is just simply false, in my opinion. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But I just wanted to highlight here that that's a negative attitude that's flipped on the other side. So where we talked about that women are nothing but sex, that's what was playing out in this case here. That in case of in the context of a casual relationship, because technically that's technically what both of you are. You both are nothing but sexual, I'm not going to say sexual objects because that's not what's happening. But once both of you have consented into that activity, you both are nothing but, having sex. That's all you are. That's all you both are. But because of that, there's now one person might have that expectation to escalate it more. And who knows, it could have been Sabatini on a different day, on a different universe. But in this case, it was Christine News. But her action led to there being a false allegation, but against him. But anyway, she's reading this and saying, I don't have the energy or bandwidth to get into that right now. I get anxious. Okay, this is. She writes to him saying, I get anxious when I don't hear back from you, and then I see you post stuff on Twitter, and he provides an admittedly small and silly but another bit of evidence to this growing feeling that you do not care about me in a way I care about you. Oh my God, this is so bad. I think I've been harboring suppressing this sense of inequality and pain for a long time, with adverse consequences for my focus, productivity, and happiness. She caught feelings. That's all this is. I know you don't intend for this, and it may be entirely situational. I also know you don't want to deal with this right now, and I don't want to keep bothering you, but I can't afford to or deserve to keep feeling like this. My only thought is for me to pull away and cut contact despite how much I want to be there for you. I'm sorry. Gosh, this David, no, you don't do this. My guy, you don't do this. Anyway, it says, I'm sorry, but you're being crazy. Don't do this. Yeah, she may have falsely accused him, but like, come on, my guy, don't do this. But between a day or of meetings and jet lag, I found a way to stop retweeting a member. Please stop. It hurt to be called crazy for trying to care and express how I feel. I care about you a lot and always want to do whatever I can to help. But clearly, in practice, it was harder than I anticipated to be invested in. That while also respecting your need for space and exploration, and I'm sorry to both of us for all the anxiety that came forward. Sorry about that. In the background, having time to reflect and refocus over the past few days definitely helped, and I hope that continues to be true for both of us in the coming weeks. With travel, I hope European time has been good for you. I'm sorry, but I am sorry, but I just, David Sabatini says, I'm sorry, but I just want some peace. I told you where I am mentally, and your text did not help. You need to chill out and let fate take its course. Things with Lena has been interesting and fun. That's what the retweet was about. He retweeted a picture with him and another woman, and she saw it. Yes, we have kissed and discussed more, but nothing has happened. I need to spend more time with her to understand what we mean to each other. Dude, you're 50. You should know this by now. But again, it's a clear discommunication. But like, unless it was really, I think in his head it was really clear that they were not an item. But for her, something changed along the way. But even so, I just wouldn't share someone else I'm seeing, unless it's really serious. I wouldn't share like this. You're not afraid. You're not actually friends. Like, you're not actually friends, bro. But unclear how that will happen unless I spend more time. I appreciate you being honest. I'll be honest and say it definitely hurts to validate some of my anxieties in light of our closeness and discussions over the past few weeks. It seems like this will be something that won't be resolved with just another day there. Right. Going down here. Sorry, one second. Right, okay, so it says here, News wrote, but I think it's worth thinking about whether you want someone who matches your passion, intellect, and ambition, and therefore, and thereby pushes, challenges, and shares in that with you. I certainly want that because it helps me become the best and fullest version of myself. Sabatini wrote back saying, everyone is entitled to their hypotheses. I would rather table these discussions to a later date. Thank you. Of course, she replied and asked him to respect her feelings. I have been 100% honest with you about my current state of mind. He responded, please give me space as a friend. I honestly think this is also another thing as well. When these are a clear expression or a clear manifestation of how there's what I'm looking for. It's not dynamics, but it's how no one takes, I don't know. When you gain feelings, it models the playing field. It models the playing field so much. What I really wanted to say was that in this situation, there is a way that it is handled differently with men and women. I think there is an expectation, I'll just be fair. Let me be fair. Whenever you catch a lot of feelings for someone else, right, there is always going to be an instance where you want to escalate. Not everyone can take rejection lightly. And that's what I'm reading here. This guy is rejecting her multiple times. And it takes a lot to actually be like, I understand and wish you the best. It takes a lot to say that without her harboring some form of resentment. Some form. Because I really believe that when these two were seeing each other like that, I don't think that he was thinking this is going to go more. Based on what we read in regards to him being separated, I truly believe that he really was just after a good time. If he's saying, I don't know, maybe saying, I don't know how I feel yet, this and that, hopefully to keep her on, because he knows there's a likelihood that she might, if he says right there and there, sorry, just sex, she might leave. I think he knows that, but he doesn't want to escalate it more and more. Just there are so many things going here, and that's why I say that this case, there's nothing he's doing here that's wrong, in my opinion. Not to warrant a false allegation. Maybe he should have just been upfront from the start. From what I've seen, I think it's likely that if he said, yo, just casual, that's it, that's all we are. From the first, from the jump, I think most of this may have been I don't know. Some people are weird. Like they might go along with it and then just want more anyway. But he would have done himself some favor if he did put it out there and then she continues. But regardless, I don't think the fact that she went on to say all of this was coercive, like he sexually assaulted me and all of that. Bad news. And this is why this case is pretty much to show that the other side of what we went through earlier in regards to attitudes towards sex, etc. Because I do feel, and it's not being communicated here fully, hey, I gave you sex, now have me. But I do feel that because there was a sexual intercourse here, that she really did feel like, we need to, you owe me now. Otherwise, I don't think the resentment that was clearly being harbored here, I can almost hear it, that it would not have escalated to where she reported him. Because to me, based on everything that we just read, it seems like it was just amicable, both of them just fooling around having fun, and then he decided he doesn't want that. So moving on, I understand. Okay, we read that already. Of course, I understand, Kristen. I'll always wish the best for you. The only certainty in your life now and forever is that you love your son and your lab more than anything else. Be careful not to abandon them despite your current mental state. Take care. The sacred fallen relationship was over. The fallout began. So the fallout was here. Let me just go to it. And yeah, they done a really thorough investigation here. So the fallout began, and she met up with Ruth Lehman, who is the I don't know. Let me actually. Yeah, she's the Whitehead director. That's one. So, yeah. So she went to him. Sorry about that. She went to her. Gosh, man, get it together. She went to her to basically tell her everything that was going on in regards to David Sabatini and their relationship, and they were having a secret liaison, but don't want to because a lot of this we have already read. Yeah, so she wanted to leave. So this is so this is a part that I want. It says, in a meeting with Lehman that day, News found it hard to contemplate, much less talk about something so painful, so confusing, and so long secret. She was frightened, and she told trusted colleagues of the likely backlash. And so when Lehman asked why was she leaving, the younger scientist said she said only that she had experienced harassment that had deeply affected her mental health. She didn't say what kind of harassment or by whom. News allegation, though initially vague, landed like a ticking time bomb in Lehman's lap. After decades of immersed in laboratory life, she knew that sexual harassment against women in science was all too common, and that any probe would inevitably convulse the workplace, unleashing forces that could blow up onto lawsuits, disruption, and twisting social media storms. Lehman had only met News once before, briefly at work retreat. By next month, Lehman appeared to know much more. She seemed to have some idea that News intended to make a complaint about Sabatini, according to emails between News and Lehman reviewed by the Globe. Soon more of News account, full of nuance and complications, and there shows assertions that Sabatini furiously disputes would emerge. So, yeah. Moving on. I'm trying to get to the key parts. So she was already doing this before they actually broke away in January 2020 or February. I don't know exactly the date, but they broke away in 2020 as we just read it. Oh gosh. Okay, cool. There's a lot here, but this is kind of the smear that was going on around him. The only way to get to David to like you as a woman is if you sexually appeal to him. I mean, that's the smear that's going on. This is how it starts. But you gotta understand, I think we read there that in December 2019 he had told her that he does not like, this is when he was actually trying to tell her, no, I don't want to actually move on, etc. Sorry, I don't actually want to be with you. So let me just go to the chat quickly because we are running a bit out of time. This has been a very long stream. I didn't want it to be this long, but sorry. But XX MD Miss Marian, thank you. Oh, thank you. I've okay. Learn something new every day. I thought it would mean medical doctor, but thank you. External Angel says text message is a sexual harassment, but there was some activity. No, she definitely alleged proper. She alleged coercive, like she said that she did not. She mainly go into. We're gonna go into it, but she mainly was speaking in regards to there being a power imbalance. And the fact that she felt like she kind of had to do all this because of the fact that, he was a senior professor and all that. So because of that, yeah, it made it seem like, that's what it was. Avoid casual sexual relationship with coworkers. It rarely ends well. You say this again. This is why I want to do the stream. This is why I want to do the stream. I want to do the stream because when you say that, apparently that's misogynistic now as well. Because I will definitely, I'm not even saying that for hyperbole. I'm not saying that. I'm not making it up. There was actually an article, I think it was by Elizabeth Emily Dawson or something like that. Can't remember her name. Feminist sex culture critic or whatever. But it was in regards to the whole Aziz Ansari thing. And they done a piece about a guy, about how men were saying they would not want to be alone with women at work. They would not want to do all those things, that they're taking steps to actually avoid these situations. Lo and behold, there were articles to say that, see, this is why we say that men are misogynists, they hate women, all these things, because now, just because we are asking to be taken seriously at work, I'm paraphrasing so much, I actually don't know what I said word for word. I will have to do a stream to show the impacts of Me Too and you know, everything that's happened since Harvey Weinstein and the reforms, etc. But the point is that it shouldn't be a reason to not have workplace relationships. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you actually want? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Maybe 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna do it. Give me time to, like, you know, get research and get it together. Maybe 2 weeks from now. But I really want to show it because I remember looking into it, Aziz Ansari, and it unintentionally came up in my research. It was so funny when I read it. I was like, what do you want then? Like, do you not want to get rid of like? But then you're like, oh, we're just saying don't harass. You can still date us at work. I'm like, no. That's the issue here. Sorry. Oh, that's better. Okay. It's like, no. That's the issue here. That's the actual issue here. That the fact that you guys are dating at work. Aren't her multiple texts pursuing a relationship when he was clearly not interested, coercive? Who is the coercive abuser in this case? Great question, Nom de Plume. And this is why I appreciate you, Nom de Plume, and most of you guys, because you guys are very that are here. You guys are very, very objective in how you're viewing a lot of this, because it's true. Isn't it coercive as well that this guy has said no to you, and you are still continuing as if he is going to change his mind? What if he did change his mind? Would that be coercive control as well? Because there is an emotional aspect in that type of coercion. Like, you gotta think about, like, that's a very, very good question, Nom. I really like that question. That's a very good question. Ex Snow Angel says they are adult folk, but he's still wrong if he's married. No, he's, well, I'm going by the information. He could be married, but it listed out that he was separated. This is why sex shouldn't be treated casually. Feelings will be caught by someone, and if those feelings are in return, it will get messy. Add work into the mix, it gets very messy. Look, I don't blame you for saying this. I don't like to, personally for me, this is an area that I don't like casual, but some people can do it. I've met people that literally, there was this one girl that I knew in uni that went through the whole 4 years, done her thing, left. I think she's even taken now or something like that. But she never had an interest, and she's had some really good looking guys. There's an embarrassing story layered in there that I will share another day on stream. I mean, I'm never ever gonna reveal who these people are, by the way, so that's fine. But the point is, like, some people do it. I can't remember anyone having feelings for each other in that scenario. She was just the nicest girl I've ever met, to be honest. Cool, really down to earth. So it's not like a slight or jab or anything like that. Some people can do it. Some people cannot. I don't cast judgment onto it in any way. I just know that for me personally and for my own reasons, it's not something I would engage in. So, but Amanda Lang. Oh, welcome back, Amanda. I hope you've had a great day, and thanks for joining. She said, I met my husband through a mutual friend at work. We both worked at the same place. I've also worked in close proximity with another partner. How many partners do you have? Not judging. I just want to know. A close with another partner. Is it like a work partner, or please make that clearer? Anyway, in no instance did we report each other. Amanda goes and say there isn't inherently any wrong with relationships at work if there are clear separations of reporting, hierarchy of power, and individuals mature enough to keep work and private separate. I honestly just think if it's casual, I personally think, just to be safe in today's climate, I think it's not advice to anyone. Don't take it on it. But I personally think the best case scenario is, unless you two are planning to escalate on one way or the other, I would honestly say just inform, maybe not formally, but just inform your supervisor or whoever is in charge. Inform them we're going on a couple of dates. We're not serious, and then you actually write down formally, when you are serious, and then put it to HR that you guys are in a serious relationship. I don't know. Workplace and dating is a place I just wouldn't do. I think it's I have to agree with M169 here. M169. That last part is wild. 69. That last part is wild. Yeah. It's just one of those ones that you just have to. It's just one of those ones that you just have to be careful. I personally wouldn't do it. Workplace wise, I've never done it. It's always been friend circles, or just random nights out. Most of my relationships have come from random nights out, but that was in uni, so that's different. But even then, friend circles and random nights out has always been my thing. But anyway. Misogyny is a term that gets tossed around too much. Time for people to put their big person on these one and deal with their issue. See a therapist. Amanda Lang says, referring to my husband who passed several years ago. Oh, and my current. I'm so sorry. Damn, I feel bad now. Oh gosh, I made a quick joke there. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Amanda. But yeah, I wish you the best with your current partner. Damn. Let me play an explosion just to clear the mood. Okay. Okay. I'm coping. I'm not laughing at anything like that, man. I'm literally just coping. I guess I would say. I guess I would say determine what you're comfortable with until work and understand. I hear that. Not the Plume says, blimey, informing my supervisor I'm going on a day will ridicule my mood. Ridicule the mood. I don't blame you. So going back into the fallout. So let me go back into it. So I'm going to end on a couple of statistics of false allegations because I don't want to leave that up in the air. Since I formally cut ties, I honestly feel like a kid who got rescued from. No, you did not cut ties. I didn't see that far before. No. This is what she's telling people, that she cut ties. We did not see that. Is that what you saw? Is that what you see? Did you guys see her cutting ties? I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. That he was doing all the cutting. Whew, I did not know that before, but this is... I have so many tabs on it, and you guys can see it. I did not notice that before, but this is... Okay, this has definitely informed me why this is most likely a malicious false allegation. This is malicious because I did not see her cutting the ties at all. I did not see that. Not one bit. At all. That's why I keep the, yeah. So this is so the former lab member says that's why. So when she goes and tells this former lab member, Yeah, she says that. So this is her talking to her friends, people on what to do, and receiving advice. So this is when the trouble began. Investigation began. There is so much here. There is so much here. You can literally find. I can literally do a whole video to collate all of this, and I might do one in light of the fact that his case has just been dismissed. His case in regards to defamation has just been dismissed, but yeah, that's he lost everything. He lost his job and everything, and that's all. That's literally all. So I want to go into these studies here. Hold up. I want to go into his studies. I'm not gonna stay long into it. I'm not gonna stay long. I just want to go into the study here to show, and I haven't purchased this book here. I will purchase it so that I can actually read it, because I do like the abstract, but I'm only gonna read the abstract here to show that it says the purpose of this study was to identify common factors of false allegations in adult crimes by examining the dynamics involved in 30 confirmed false allegation cases. The results indicated that most of false allegations were committed by women, 73.3%, and Caucasians, 93.9%. So out of the women, not out of the women, out of the whole sample, so that's including the other, I'm guessing would be 20% that may be men or whatever gender that they have concern. So most of them were Caucasians that engage in false allegation, and data indicated that more interpersonally violent allegations were primarily motivated by sympathy and needs, etc. So this is very important. Like, I really want to buy this book, and I'm saving up. Sorry, buy access to this study, and I'm saving up for it. But it's a 2012 study. But the point I wanted to get from here is it shows that women. It does put a figure that women do this crime a bit. Sorry, do commit false allegations a bit more. It is branded as a crime. But the point is not to say that that this is all women. It's just to say that this is the data that I did have, because I saw, and I'm glad that you're here. I'm not putting you on the spot, by the way, not nom de plume. This is what I failed to put onto the video because I knew I had to buy it, and I was like, the video that I done with Phil Mitchell in regards to false allegations. This was what I was gonna put in there, but I didn't read the paper to actually put it in there. So I was like, I'm pressed for time, blah blah. Just put it out there. So that's but it also serves as a great cursor for the stream, because what she's done is what she, as in Christine News, had done is kind of showing one of the reasons why they would engage in false allegation. This one, in terms of Christine News, would be for revenge. But there was another study that I came across, and this was this study was basically, let me zoom in. This study was basically highlighting why it's important to actually understand the terminology of false allegations. Let me go into it. So this study is from 2017. It's purported for flipping at God. No, don't do this to me. No. Oh, go back. Okay, done it. Boomer. This study is called purported false allegations of rape, child abuse, non-sexual violence, nature, etc. So, by the way, when I see false allegations, I just want to put it out there. When people say that false allegations is of, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me give a foundation before I make that point. So this study was in regards to is in the UK. So over here we have something called perverting the course of justice, and this study actually highlights that's where false allegations you are primarily recorded, is under there. So this study actually goes into that and makes it known, and they were taking cases that were adjudicated in regards to this, and it was 701 cases, but a lot of the methodology used was people calling in and giving information of being falsely accused. So it does have a limitation in the fact that they don't actually know for certain whether these allegations were false or not. So it goes on to explain, and I'm gonna get to here. I think it's page 500. Right. So it said the discussions of false. Hold up. Let me actually try. Hold up. Right. Okay. So this study outlines. I love this because it gives voice to what I've been trying to do here, because it says. It is argued that such beliefs are informed by negative cultural attitudes towards women. The discussion of false allegations sometimes involves a claim that they are common or easily made. It is argued that such beliefs are informed by negative cultural attitudes towards women, in which they are portrayed as unbelievable, malicious liars, and that these beliefs impact social and institutional responses to rape. The depiction of women as malicious liars is contradicted by existing data, which suggests that allegations arising from malicious motive are relatively small subsets, which is why I said revenge. It really is in a minority. I've brought out in previous videos, especially in the Depth v. Heard Labyrinth Part 3. I actually said that revenge was the least common factor or motivation, that the most common is usually just sympathy and attention seeking, I believe, or sorry, alibi, that's the word, alibi, not attention seeking. I said as well. Alibi was the main driver for a false allegation, which is quite common, because if you don't want to be caught out for something, you would want to lie about where you were or something like that. It's not that much of a misnomer. Of course, I'm not saying it's cheapening it or anything like that, but it makes sense that alibi would be the most motivating factor. Anyway, indeed, to be properly understood, it is important to note that there are a number of types of non-false allegation, which likely comprise most cases. So I'm gonna go down here because this is part I wanted to get. It has been argued that that discussing the issue of false rape allegations is dangerous because it may feed into societal myths concerning women as untrustworthy, malicious liars. It is also claimed that discussing falsity may lead to backlash against believing victims. The specter of false allegations can impact perceptions of rape, and there is contemporaneous domestic evidence that some police officers believe that a large number of rape allegations are false. Which also, I'm gonna release an interview of someone that actually said this without even reading it. Like, they were actually told. They were actually told this, and I can't wait to release that interview in the coming weeks. Evidence from North America suggests that for some police officers, a belief that an allegation is untrue might be influenced by stereotypical beliefs about how genuine victims should behave, etc. Blah blah. I think we've been I don't think we need that. Okay. Further, it has been argued that focusing on false allegations to a diversion from the much more common problem of sexual violence and the mischaracterization of false allegations risks undermining all rape complaints. So, to argue that discussions around false allegations are dangerous fails to distinguish careful evidence approaches to the topic from ill-informed discussions influenced by myths and mischaracterizations. What this paper is basically arguing, it is more dangerous to actually divert and mischaracterize what false allegations are for real complainants because it undermines those real complainants, and by not addressing the problem head on, it actually continues to perpetuate, or continues to basically, if they were having ill-informed discussions, the discussions will just continue to be ill-informed. There will be no education in regards to false allegation, because the truth is there is a legitimate argument to be made for false allegation, and people should understand it more and more. This whole report, this whole article makes it clear, but I just wanted to go into this part to kind of show you why I am doing a lot of these things that I do, especially for the real. I think that has to be highlighted, whether it's men, women, etc. I don't plan to become a man only or women only channel or anything like that. It's going to be very gender neutral, because the education around it, I really believe that when it comes to these issues, it really should be genderless. I don't think that's helping actually move forward. It may have been good at the start to focus on one gender to the other. It may have been good at the start, but I think we've reached a point now where we should look, because there's limitations. You can only go for so long looking at one side. You can only go for so long. But I have taken a lot of your times. I'm gonna close up here, because it's very, very, it's been a very long stream, but I appreciate every single one of you that have stuck. I didn't take offense. Thank you so much. Life happens. I know it confuses people when I refer to my husband and to my partner. It's so important to have the discussion, but in good faith rather than a weapon to describe it. Yeah, absolutely. That's that's why I love that study, because I am going to go into most of the studies that I've used today. I'm going to go into more detail in future streams. I just wanted to hit the key points to show why both cases are very valid, that it must be considered, because I do understand, especially for the sex workers, people might look at it, in a different light. They might look at it in one way or the other, right? But there still has to be understanding there that you have to still remember that, yeah, they're doing sex work, but you can't just use work to dehumanize somebody else. That's slavery with extra steps. I'm sorry to quote Rick and Morty. Think about it. I mean, no, you can't. It's like looking at a cleaner and being like, no, they are not smart, because you're doing a job anyone can do. An ant can do it. An ant can clean up the room. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's not fair. They're still human beings. So there has to be. So I rather use the case where this happened to a sex worker and be like, hey, this is the attitude that's causing this, and be like, yeah, this is where it comes from. This is this and that. I'm not too worried about the solutions yet. Not worried about that. Highlighting a problem, letting people know that there's a problem is more important for me. So I appreciate this comment, Amanda. Thank you. X Snow Angel says, what if some issues get addressed but dramatically? Would that help more than silence? What if some issues get addressed but dramatically? I don't know what you mean by that. If I'm being honest. But if I'm going to try and guess and be like, you're probably reacting to me saying earlier that I'm not going to offer solutions. If that's the case, I get it then. If that's the case, what if some issues get addressed but dramatically? Would that help more than silence? I don't think. I'm guessing you meant earlier. So I don't think it's silence. What I'm doing is silence. I just think that I'm not at the. I don't think I am in that mindset yet. I haven't seen the results I need to see to start bringing out solutions. I still see people are woefully misinformed when it comes to false allegations, and also when it comes to attitude towards sex workers, towards rape, domestic violence, all those things. I see that happening. So rather than offer solutions or strategies to get out, because I do have that mind as well, but I don't think it's time to like put my focus there yet, because people don't. There is still an issue. There's still an education thing that there's still a wound. So I just rather inform until I like kind of, if I see one attitude change, one on social media, by the way, that's my barometer. If I start seeing more and more people actually get it, then I'll be like, okay, cool, time to switch up. But that's just how I see it. You might see something different where people I've learned, but I'm yet to see that. I'm seeing so many disgusting takes when I see a woman that has slept with a 16-year-old child. I kid you not. It's happening in the UK right now. I kid you not. This woman slept with a 16-year-old child, and a guy, I was condemning it, by the way. A guy came into my inbox, came onto the post and said, the age of consent is 16. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, you won't defend a woman like this. If this was a little girl, you won't say the age of consent. Why are you doing this? Like, there's no point to do this. So it's things like that kinds of like, kind of shows me that there's still a long way for me to go, because until I start seeing some those comments minimized, because I see a lot of those comments when it comes to like child abuse cases. I see a lot of those comments, people being stupid, and people that probably deserve the wood chipper. So anyway, yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, not addressing false allegations doesn't help victims. It hurts them because the specter of the issue just hangs there. I agree. Every sex worker is somebody's child. Yes. Well said, nom de plume. Well said. It is. They're not like, look, it's like, for example, what extreme example can I use right now to illustrate the point? You might, okay, so it's like, because of, do I want to get cancelled yet? Oh, fuck it. You only live once. So I know it's hard because for some people of what's going on in like Israel and all those in that country, right? But if you then decide to go and just randomly kill all the Israeli soldiers that are literally just following the orders of whoever is in charge, that's wrong. But they're the bad guys. You know what I'm trying to say? They are seen as the bad guys. It's an extreme example, but the point, but to bring it home, is the same thing as the sex workers, right? You can't look at them as less than human being just because they're not doing something that is seen as socially acceptable. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's a massive extreme example. I don't think it landed, but I just wanted to like give a picture that yes, there are, there is like, you don't. Yeah, I just want to give that picture. The cleaner example probably worked a lot better, but I like extremes. Yeah, Amanda Lang says, yeah, the double standard applied to sex workers is a whole conversation unto itself. And it's a conversation that I'm going to have again because I am covering the OnlyFans killer case, Courtney Clenny. Oh gosh, Courtney Clenny. I am going to cover that over on Ketchup Court on live stream when it goes. I would definitely show it here, like crossover here as well with recaps of whatever's going on with this and that. But Ketchup Core is definitely the channel that is my sister. It's the second channel that I have where I will do live streams of trials, and also meeting up with other true crime fans or people that love criminal, people that love legal cases, etc. that likes that kind of life. We'll be talking over there. This channel is just purely for these kind of think pieces, like all of these things. So like unfortunately I won't be doing coverage of trials, like live coverage. By the way, I'm still doing coverage of trials over here, definitely gonna happen, but you will get more of a dissection over here of what's going on, like more theory, etc. Yeah, so this is the beauty of YouTube. You gotta have 2 channels nowadays, I guess. But yeah, head over to Catch Up Call. I will put it in the description. You guys can go and subscribe there if you guys do want to see my commentary on live trials. I'm trying to look into see if I can comment on Karen Reed. I really don't. I mean, I've been very vocal about it on my Twitter. In regards to the whole Karen Reed trial, I've been very vocal about it on my Twitter, but it's just I don't know what I can add outside of probably talking to other people that have been very vocal about the case as well. That's probably all I can do. But that case is wild, and I mean, I have never seen such an incompetent prosecution ever. Like, honestly, I don't know. But anyway, you know, that's just me. So I'll just close out on this. So it says, drop it despite. I hope that says despite my comments. I hope that's what you meant. Despite my comments, their work doesn't mean they can be used. They can't. Doesn't mean they can be used and abused. I don't want people to traffic into it. The buyer should be shamed, in my opinion. Yeah. Ooh, funny enough, I think Meryl said it on one of her streams on Two Guys, a Girl, and the Tea. I think she actually said it there, where she said that in the Netherlands, they actually have a law that if you are a buyer and you don't have a license, then you're gonna get arrested, which I think is a revolutionary. That's a great idea over there in the Netherlands, because yeah, it makes sense. Like the license belongs to the person that's actually buying. So yeah, they can pretty much so brothels can definitely open up as long as they want without a license. All those things, they can operate like that, but you need a license to go into one, which is it's like having a car, right? You don't need a license to have a car, but you need a license to drive it. It's kind of a really foolproof concept, because then if you don't have a license and you're buying, then you can see how backwards, you know, in a backwards way, you can see how it does fix itself, because you can't go or be exploited, because this person is going to get, you know, checked. The person that's buying is going to get checked. So it can stop at the first point. Makes sense in a way. You know, don't worry about the people running, worry about the person buying. It's kind of interesting. M169 says, yeah, Karen Reed has been crazy. Yeah. I want to talk about it. But I have been very in and out, because I'm also covering the GZ and Jeannie Mai case. But that one is most likely not going to get to trial. But I wanted to get into that because it had allegations of domestic violence. And I spoke with a lawyer about it. I'm going to release a video, not the lawyer chick. So she gave me a lot of insight in regards to that case, and you know how that works in the divorce context. I'm gonna be releasing that most likely next week. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna close out there. It's very, very late. It's been 2 hours, like almost 3 hours now. This is my longest stream I've done on this channel, to be honest. Actually, no, it's not. I've done a 5-hour stream where I was talking with a domestic violence. I forget. Can I call her that? But she basically was talking with me in regards to Jonathan Majors, and she was basically saying how Majors was in the wrong, etc. It was a really weird conversation. But anyway, I am so happy that you guys stuck stick with me for this long and discuss all of this with me. I appreciate all of your input. Please do hit that like button if you're watching this on replay, and I hope that we did actually learn something today. I really hope that I will get better. I keep saying that I'm a kind of a perfect, I kind of want, my standards are very high. I'll put it like that. I am a perfectionist, but I'm trying to unlearn the language, which is like, I do have very high standards. I do believe that if I'm going to turn on this camera to speak to each and every single one of you, I believe that I should deliver the highest quality I possibly can. So sometimes that's negative. It comes negative, but I really hope I did do a good job today. So if you do like what you see, do hit the like button. and share the stream. Subscribe if you are new and you like what we do, and to be notified for whenever we go live. Next week, we are going to be looking at a new case. I'm waiting for the trial in the UK to be done so that I can talk about that 16-year-old, the woman that was sleeping with a 16-year-old. I want to talk about that case, but I will keep you guys updated. You know what? Let me actually look at my diary. Actually, look at my diary. 1 second. I don't think I. What are we doing next week? Oh, next week actually, no, it's okay. Got it. Next week, for the next 2 weeks, we're looking at 2 cases, and that is, I haven't decided which one is next week or the one, but we're looking at 2 cases. The case of Hope Solo, who is the American soccer or footballer, what you want to call it, American footballer, soccer player, who was a goalkeeper, successful woman goalkeeper, but she has had a troubled past, troubled history, troubled personal life. We're gonna look at her cases of her criminal domestic violence behavior, and we're also gonna be looking at the latest conviction of Ali Abulaban. I hope I said that right. Ali Abulaban, who has had a recent conviction for killing his girlfriend, and this one is wild, because that particular case, he killed her because he was, I don't want to let me not give it away, but he's a TikTok star that has been jailed to life imprisonment for murdering his wife, Anna Abulaban would have been his surname, but yeah, that's what we have in store for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope to see you guys, and yeah, keep an eye out for the videos that we're going to do on the channel in regards to a lot of these topics. And yeah, I will see you on the next episode. But before I go, let me just read out the last few chats. M169 says, I think I found you through Natalie. She's awesome. She is awesome. Amazing. Amazing person she is. Snow Angel, thank you a lot. It was insightful. I live for comments like this. I thank you so much. I appreciate that you have some value from it. But yeah, I will need to step up my promotion game, because I do think I do not interact with you guys a lot, and I think I'm very lazy when it comes to like letting people know that I actually stream. But but I hope you guys did enjoy today's stream. Thank you so much. I'm gonna leave it there. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Bye bye.